has been a technological leader in the manufacture of waste and recycling containers for over 100 years, beginning with the manufacture of metal waste bins and culminating in the development of the modern plastic mobile garbage bin, or MGB, in 1975. With the success of MGB technology, Sulo established an Australian subsidiary company in 1983, Sulo MGB Australia, which became a 100% Australian-owned company. At Sulo MGB Australia, our mission is simple. We aspire to be the industry leader in the provision of products and services that meet the environmental needs of the community. We ensure that our MGBs are safe, user-friendly and built to last, which is why our bins come with a stamp of approval in the form of either a DIN EN 840 certificate or a RAL quality mark. Waste containers that carry the RAL quality mark are guaranteed to provide maximum usability, working safety, environmental protection and compliance with applicable standards. That includes the DIN EN 840 certificate, which is the European standard for the manufacture of mobile waste containers, and specifies requirements for the dimensions and design, the performance criteria and testing, and the health and safety requirements of the MGB. In order to obtain this certification, Sulo was required to send MGBs made in the Australian manufacturing plant to an authorised testing facility in Europe, where the bins are put through a series of tests, and where the survival rate of these facilities is exceptionally low. Sulo emerged as the only Australian manufacturer of MGBs certified to carry the DIN EN 840 certificate. Having set a quality benchmark in Australian waste management, Sulo have gone one better by approaching Standards Australia to establish a national standard for the manufacture and use of MGBs in Australia. The standard is being developed by a committee of relevant stakeholders who provide the waste industry with consistent guidelines for standardisation of dimension and design of all MGBs up to 1,700 litres, formalisation of testing methods for waste containers sold in Australia, and health, safety and environmental standards for waste bins, and coordination of colour code systems to distinguish the use of particular waste containers. So let's have a look at what makes Sulo MGBs superior. Sulo is one of the many companies known as polymer processors. Polymer processors are manufacturers that take raw materials called high-density polyethylene, or HDPE, and convert them into a range of waste containers for the consumer. Sulo processes both virgin raw materials and recycled plastic materials, including milk bottles and old MGBs that have been collected from the community. But how do we get from the raw HDPE to a complete MGB? The machinery used to convert the raw material into a completed MGB is called an injection moulding machine, a complex device using hydraulic operating systems to drive the various parts. It consists of two main operating systems, the mould clamping system and the plastic HDPE injection system. The clamping system uses hydraulic cylinders that supply enough force to keep the mould close together, so when the plastic is injected, it is contained within the mould. The injection system is vital to producing a consistent MGB of correct specifications. It consists of a large steel cylinder that is surrounded by electrical heaters. Inside the cylinder is a device similar to a large screw. The raw material is placed in the barrel and heated to approximately 270 degrees Celsius to melt. Once melted, the plastic is transferred along the barrel by the screw. The plastic is then injected into the mould using hydraulic pressures. This process is carefully controlled to ensure the mould is completely filled with plastic. The plastic is then allowed to cool, assisted by the flow of cold water around the mould, and is then removed. Now we have a near completed MGB. During the manufacturing process, we also have the ability to customize each individual order. Not only can we allocate a unique serial number to each bin, but we can also supply our customer's name and logo through a process called hot stamping. We also endeavour to keep up with new technology development as they occur. For instance, the insertion of radio frequency identification tags, enabling our customers to identify each bin and its exact location. Let's have a look at some of the paces our bins are put through to make the grade. To begin with, each new batch of virgin raw material that is delivered to Sulo is visually inspected and then put through an extrusion test to ensure the material supplied exactly matches the required specifications. The test data and sample material are then filed in the Sulo Quality Assurance Log to ensure long-term consistency and traceability of all our products. Both before and after the sequence of performance tests, a visual inspection is carried out on all MGBs. This is to ensure the MGB has no damage or visual defect, such as cracks, bubbles, large flashes, sharp edges, or any surface defects. This phase of testing also ensures the manufacturing characteristics of the MGB, such as wall thickness, axle diameter, handle diameter, weight and volume, are equal to or better than those specified in the standard. In this test, an MGB is placed on a steel plate, with the distance between the base of the MGB and the ground being 50 millimeters, ensuring the base can spring freely. A 5 kilogram cylinder is then dropped from heights of 0.8 of a metre on the body, rim and lid, and 1 metre on the base, impacting with sensitive points of the MGB such as the injection point, the handles, and the junction between the body and the lid. This test is also conducted with an MGB that has been cooled to minus 20 degrees Celsius for a minimum of 12 hours to simulate the very harsh working conditions. The purpose of this test is to assess the ability of the sensitive points on the MGB to resist impact and therefore perform above and beyond the requirements of the standard and the expectations of our customers. The drop test is carried out to ensure the integrity of the container after being dropped from a height beyond anything that normally happens in the field. In this test, 2 samples are filled with a load equal to 40% of their total capacity. For example, a 240-litre MGB is filled with 96 kilograms. Each sample is then dropped 4 times from a height of 3 metres. For the first 3 tests, the containers must land level. On the 4th attempt, the container must hit the bottom front edge. This angle is achieved by lifting the container by the back rim only. After each drop, a visual inspection is carried out to check for any damage to the container. In order to pass this test, and unlike inferior products, the Sulo MGB must maintain its functionality and not split or crack at any time during the process of the 4 drops. This test is also conducted with an MGB that has been cooled to minus 20 degrees Celsius for a minimum of 12 hours to simulate the more extreme conditions. To ensure the longevity of our products, we also conduct a stress test, whereby a tank large enough to contain a complete MGB is filled with a solution of detergent and water and heated to a temperature of 70 degrees Celsius. Once heated, the Sulo MGB is then placed in the tank for a period of 48 hours, simulating years of aging. After removal from the bath and rinsing, the appearance is then evaluated with normal vision from 1 metre in bright daylight. This test is carried out to determine the level of internal stress moulded into the plastic, which may not become apparent for several years, but could potentially cause future failures. Unlike Sulo products, this is what happens to an inferior product. It cracks severely after testing and clearly indicates the use of inadequate materials or poor manufacturing processes. So there you have it, some of our major internal testing to ensure that Sulo continually manufactures a certified quality product year in, year out. To finish up with, here are a few comments from our customers confirming how well Sulo Mgbs perform in the real world. Glenorchy City, where ideas happen. The bins are of a very high standard, the hot stamping was excellent, and we are very satisfied with Sulo's performance. The information supplied by Sulo throughout the course of the manufacturing to keep our staff informed of progress and delivery details was of an exceptionally high standard. I would have no hesitation in recommending Sulo to future clients. Moreland City Council. I would like to thank Sulo for the professional manner in which you completed the project of supplying and distributing 30,000 mobile recycling bins in the southern half of Moreland. Your ability and willingness to amend production schedules to cater for the delays created while various approvals were obtained was truly appreciated. Similarly, the completion of the bin rollout within the nominated timelines was another part of the successful achievement of this project. Waste Contractors and Recyclers Association of New South Wales. Sulo have shown a great commitment in representing our industry in the development of Australian standards for the manufacture of mobile garbage bins. These standards are based on strong testing and performance requirements and will ensure that bins marketed for sale in Australia meet these stringent requirements. Sulo's manufacturing premises at Summersby are considered by many of us in the industry to be the best mobile garbage bin processing facility in this part of the world. There you have it, Sulo Mgb Australia, producing a range of mobile garbage bins that are manufactured and tested to give a service life second to none.